Jeffrey Dahmer was born on May 21, 1960 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He is known as the Milwaukee Cannibal for the confession of 17 murders over the course of 13 years, involving males in which he raped, dismembered, and performed necrophilia and cannibalism.
I think it was around age 14 or 15. Started having obsessive thoughts of violence. I didn't know how to tell anyone about it, so I didn't. Just kept it all inside.
Dahmer's childhood reflects his actions as an adult. Growing up, Dahmer became withdrawn and had no friends. He felt neglected by his parents as they paid more attention to his younger brother. As a teenager, Dahmer found an interest in dismembering, bleaching, and dissecting small animal corpses. Dahmer's parents were problematic, as his mother suffered from mental health issues and his father was largely absent, preoccupied with work. Dahmer's father, a chemist, bonded with Dahmer by bleaching small animal corpses until only bone was left. When Dahmer was 18, his parents filed for a divorce with allegations of extreme cruelty, gross neglect of duty, and highly influencing Dahmer to commit his first murder out of anger and the feelings of neglect. Dahmer had an extreme drinking problem throughout high school and college, causing him to drop out of college as it became a problem. He was enlisted in the Army, served his full term, and was rejected of reenlistment due to his drinking problem. His father sent him away to live with his grandmother in 1985, where he would commit his second murder and trigger more disturbing acts, and by the summer of 1991, Dahmer killed around one person each week. At the age of 18, Dahmer committed his first murder, hitchhiker Stephen Hicks. He got drunk with Dahmer and proceeded to leave, but as soon as he decided to leave, Dahmer attacked him with a 10-pound dumbbell and proceeded to dissolve his body, ridding the body remains in his backyard. 9 years would pass before he would commit another murder. Dahmer committed his crimes by visiting gay bars where he would seduce and lure these men and proceed to drug, rape, and strangle them. He would then perform necrophilia and/or dismember the bodies. Dahmer would keep the skulls and genitalia as trophies that symbolized his victims could never leave him. On July 12, 1991, Dahmer attempted to murder Tracy Edwards. He escaped and notified the police that Dahmer had attempted to murder him. A police investigation was performed on Dahmer's apartment, where evidence like photographs of dead bodies, remains in the refrigerator, 7 skulls, and an eerie altar in the closet was found to place Dahmer under arrest. On January 30th, trial for 15 murder charges against Dahmer found him guilty. Dahmer pled insanity due to uncontrollable impulses. The court declared him sane and guilty. He was sentenced to 15 life terms as no death penalty existed in the state of Wisconsin. Dahmer received an additional life term for the guilty plea of his first murder of Stephen Hicks. Forensic psychologists can characterize Dahmer as a hedonistic serial killer as he seeked thrill and derived pleasure from his killing. Dahmer was capable of doing horrible things to the bodies for its own enjoyment. He bleached the bodies down to the bone because he was fascinated with the outcome. He was motivated by thrill. Early signs were shown where he would decapitate small animals, taking pleasure in taking the limbs apart. He is considered both organized and disorganized killer as he portrayed traits of both. Organized traits he portrayed was that he was highly intelligent, he would attack with seduction, and would leave the bodies dismembered in random locations. He was disorganized as he was socially withdrawn and was triggered by family emotional abuse.
Right. Not because I was angry with them, not because I hated them, but because I wanted to keep them with me. And as my obsession grew, I was saving body parts such as skulls.
Dahmer would kill his victims because he didn't want them to leave. As a child, he lacked connection with his parents. He had no friends and lacked social connection. All of Dahmer's life, he had no one to trust or build a relationship with. He longed for connection. He would keep the genitals of his victims for the purpose of always being with them. His sexual desire also led to a lot of his killings as he was registered as a sex offender. Most of his victims were seduced and killed by Dahmer. In the end, Dahmer was convicted to the Columbia Correctional Institute, and on November 26, 1994, Dahmer was attacked by a fellow inmate. Dahmer suffered from a severe head trauma and died on the way to the hospital.